Okay folks, thanks for watching my new vid. If you've seen the picture, I claim that I've got Space Invaders running on Fallout 4. It's a little not true, but if you remember this bit where I count to 3, I'm using that to make an animation of the Space Invaders. Let's be honest, it's not going to actually play Space Invaders. So what actually I'm going to do, unlike my previous vids where I've basically done it and then I sort of explain it, is there's going to be several cuts where I actually show the thing actually being made. So without further ado, let's go to the first part of the video where I talk about the wiring on the back of the pixels, which hopefully will look a lot better than this here for these numbers. I worked out a better way of doing it. Yeah, so let's jump to the next clip. Hello, this is Vinny from the past before I started recording the video. I recorded this bit now because by the time I'm done wiring up everything that I want to wire, it will look a lot messier and be harder to see. But if you just wanted a static image, in this case of a Space Invader or Mario or something like that, the way I did it was I've got my a nuclear reactor here which provides 150 levels of power, and each box takes one. So if you've got 10 by 10, you'd need at least 100, obviously. I've got a management system here, which I'm also using to change the light color, even though all I'm doing is changing all of the colors. If you want to do Mario, you'd have to change the individual ones that you wanted. Pixel art kind of thing. But in the back here, you can see I have the main power going into this first one, and then I'm just working across. These black lines each denote power, and they sort of form the shape of the Space Invaders. You can see the antennas up here, there, the same this side, which correspond to the lit ones there. So all you have to do is not power the ones that you don't want on, and any that I'm going to have permanently on that don't move, I'm just going to have this powering. But I do want to flick between, so he throws his arms up and down, so I'm going to be powering them slightly differently. By the time I've got that wiring in, you wouldn't be able to see this, or at least I don't think you will. But yeah, I come in and I go across and I go up, just go across like this, leaving gaps. So there's that there. Let's see. Let's find one with a gap. That looks like one. See, that's longer than that wire there, because it's avoiding this one here, which is one of his eyes. So it's that simple to create at least a static image. And by the time I'm done, I've actually also put it on a rug, which, if you know about the rug glitch, it means that I can pick up everything and just put it where I want, and I'm going to put it up against the screen here. But for now, since I'm working on it, I need the space behind it to not only show you, but for me to get at it. But eventually, it's going to be up against the old cinema wall there. And I guess in time, I might fill it. But anyway, we'll jump back to the video. Just wanted to show you the back before I started animating. Hello, you're seeing behind the curtain again. Earlier on, I recorded a video of me showing you the back of this with the antennas and stuff like that. I've gone and checked the animation of the Space Invader, and it only puts its arms up and down, these arms here. So what does that mean? Well, that means that all of these pixels can remain powered just by that pylon. I don't have to worry about it, but these two pixels here have to alternate with these two pixels here. So it looks like he's putting his arms up and down. Now, what I've done is I have an exclusive OR here, and all that's doing is in conjunction with a interval switch, is turning these two bottom ones on and off. It should come on now. Obviously, I'm going to speed it up before we're done. So they come on, they go off. I don't need the logic gate to do that, really. But the reason I'm using the logic gate is I want it to know when it's turning it on. So that's this exclusive OR here, and you can see the ring going on and off. Now what I've done is taken a power from that to an exclusive NOT OR, which is effectively inverting what I was just talking about. And even though it looks like it's doing exactly the same, you might notice that this ring's green, whilst this ring's green and this one's not. If you see what I mean, that one will go off and this one comes on. And what that actually means is, and I've got a wire coming out of the output of that to that pixel there, and you'll see that it's currently white, by the way, because I haven't told it to be blue, and that's handy for me while I'm working, just so I know what's going on. So all I have to do is move a wire from this pixel up to this pixel, which I'll do right now. Boom. And we have our arms going up and down on this side. Boom. Right. So what we'll do is we'll take... I could come off this, but it'll be more complicated. If I could come off that and then stretch all the way to there. But what I'm actually going to do is take the wiring that I've got from here, from the logic gate. That way, if I change the logic gate, I know where I'm going. And another tip is if you're trying to track down which pixel you want, and the reason it can't get that, by the way, is my post is just in the way. That's okay, though. I'll just put a... Let's move that. You'll notice this happen all the time with things getting in the way or not being long enough and the wire doesn't quite stretch. There you go, now it stretches. The post was just in the way. We know it's going to be this arm here, the one it's connected to there. So that should now light up just like the other one. Except I've done the wrong one. And this happens all the time, especially when it gets complicated. Right, we'll delete that. I've done the wrong arm. We're doing the lower arm. Oh, which means I have to turn that arm off. These two down here. But I have a situation where those two down here are actually powering the other pixels. They're actually jumping across there. So I have to be careful here because I'll end up turning off all of the lighting like that. Amazing how quick that can be done, isn't it? So you think, what have I done? Which is exactly what I'm just thinking. That's okay. All I have to do is come off this one and go to that one, and that should turn most of them back on, if not all of them. Yep. And then I have just following it along there. I'll go from this one. Oh, hang on. This one. Why isn't it giving me lighting? Hang on. Let's back that out. This one to that one, and then delete this wire and this wire, and we should have that off. Right, and nothing else should have changed. There should be two white up here. Come on, there we go. And this is off because we're about to connect to this one, to the out of this logic gate, which is our lower leg. And then we take... Where's that going from there to there? So we have to undo this bit of wiring, but I think we could just undo it. I don't think it does any good. And then we drop a line from there to there, and we should have our lower arm done on both sides. In fact, I've just broken it. So now I have to make sure... Why have I just broken it? What does it go to? I've probably got arms moving up and down and nothing else. That goes to there. Oh, I see. That's no problem. We'll just hook that up to that, and that should fix the front. So you get an insight as to how interestingly difficult it can be just to keep track of things. That should go down. Yes, now, so all I have to finally do, at least for this stage, is take whatever these two are connected to and connect them to these two. And again, they'll be white because I haven't told it to be whatever color I choose. But we're coming off here, and hopefully it'll stretch to... let's see where we can come around this side in case we're not sure. That one. Yep. And then we take that one to the one above. Again, I could come off as I did with the numbering system, but since there's so many static here, I can come off. Let's come out here. Right. I can come off this one and just go above, and we should have our arms going up and down. Looks a bit more like a Space Invader now, doesn't it? Yep. So, I now have to plug in a computer into this system, change the colors, change the speed at which it's going up and down, and add a ... So, when we join me again, I will have done that. Alright, see you in a moment. Okay, folks, you may remember this from a previous video. This proved the concept that you could do an animation, even though it's just numbers, that's effectively a pixel animation. And you could do more than one, but I've just decided to alternate between two, and you can probably hear that noise in the background. You will have seen me working on this, and here's what I think is the finished result, and then I can take all of this part apart. Without further ado, it's not quite the Space Invader sounds, but it's the closest I could find in the speaker system. I also couldn't quite get it as close to the screen as I would like. I could probably work on that. The problem was I put my logic against the wall here, and I should probably have tucked it away, maybe above on the roof, and ran it down. It's certainly something you could work on. It's the wiring that's the problem. If the Space Invader is behind this wall here, then it won't let me put it there. As you can see, I glitched it up there with the rug, and it's just floating in the air. But yeah, there you go. There's an animated Space Invaders in Fallout, using the large light boxes and a series of logic gates. The computer here, funny enough, you can see it turning on and off because I actually hooked it up to the logic gate here, which is connected to the lower legs. I think it's connected to the upper legs. So as the upper legs come on, notice the terminal over here turning on and off. So I had to time it because it'd go, well, it won't work without power. That'd be an easy fix, just run a power straight to the source here. But it didn't matter anyway because I only wanted that there so I could change the color and make it bright. Here's the two speakers here, and you can see, if I actually turn the light off, you can see them coming on and off. There's a snare drum and an explosion I think I've used in the end. I tried using sine waves. I wanted it to go duh, 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 duh. But I would have had to build a separate logic for that, and I think that's probably a bit overkill. Yeah, but it looks great from a distance. Let's go over here. And that's I think 8 by 11, so 88 blocks. So you would probably need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So 300 blocks at least to actually fill the screen. And even then it probably wouldn't. But yeah, the next step would be to make it move like across, which you could do. You could do with this setup. It would be amazingly complicated and unnecessary, but you could do it. So, if you saw the title of this and it said Space Invaders in Fallout and you thought it was clickbait, a little, but I'm happy with that, and I'm glad that I recorded some of the process of doing it. This was actually the easiest one I've done so far. And if you see my other videos over here, I had a game show, and I had a race and burning of settlers and so on. And this was just everything worked in my head. And I think the reason is, and it's just a little bit of advice, is practice. At this point I knew exactly which logic gates I was going to use. I used an exclusive OR for the above, and that actually talks, hang on, let's not do that, I was going to turn the light on. That actually talks to an AND, if I remember, no, an exclusive NOT OR, an XN OR. Which is effectively the opposite, which is all I needed. So the exclusive OR takes care of the bottom, and then the opposite happens at the top, all from the same power interval pylon, which is this one here. So even though it's turning power off, if I turn that off you can see it going off. The exclusive NOT OR is going, oh okay, well I'll send power anyway, because I'm off now. I'm doing the opposite, and you can see the green flicking either side for the percussion. Yeah, alright, I'm quite pleased with that. A little proud, not too much. Definitely deserves a beer. I could have probably centered it a bit better, and I've already got rid of the rug that I glitched it up there with. So it's forever like that now, and that's okay because it's in keeping with Fallout. But the settlers, you know what I should do is put a bunch of like the slot machines and make a casino here, and there's an arcade. So anyway, Space Invaders in Fallout 4, using the build editor and logic gates. As ever, my name is Vinny Voodoo, and thanks for watching.